Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, November 11th, 2025. It is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're here for live chat, which is just going to be a haul and a talk about Houston. So if you got any questions, you can post them. I'll tell you what I know and what I did and what I bought for the most part. So I am just going to wait for people to get notifications that the chat is live. I have been home a little over an hour, and I had to unpack some of my luggage so that I could show you guys what I bought, and I hope I took everything out and I don't have anything hiding somewhere. So yeah, do that. See if I can pull you guys up. Since I left this plugged in, it should be charged. And I have not been in this room since the last Saturday, and I have not organized or done anything. I just came in the room because that's all I had time to do. So normally I use my Saturday to kind of figure out what it is that I'm going to do. So I didn't have that because I was on my way back. We'll talk about that a little later, but just know that nothing is planned here. I am literally just in the door. I have not even eaten dinner, trying to unpack my stuff so that I can get you all. And then I also have Paige. So let me do this. She was happy to see me, so I had to spend some time with her. Let me make sure volume is down. And then it's trying to sign on to my television. Teaquilts live. Come on, come on. All right, so let me open up. It's probably gonna see what it does. Yeah, I did a commercial. And then I gotta go in here so we can read all of the messages. I hope, you know what, I'm almost thinking that I left a bag. We'll find out in a minute. I think I'm gonna have to excuse myself for a minute because I think I got a bag in my smaller suitcase as well. All I unpacked was my larger one, and I am crammed in here, guys. So excuse me, I'm sorry. But if you want to see it, I gotta go get it. Yep, guys, I forgot to package the stuff that I got today because I put it into the suitcase at the center. And then I just forgot which suitcase that I actually put it in. So that's what happened. But I got it now. I got it now. All right. Ooh wee, ooh wee. I don't feel like I bought a lot, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, all right. Okay, let's see what's going on with notifications on my phone, because I don't get notifications on that. Okay, nothing I need right now. All right. So, let's see who's in the chat. Let's go over here. We got Darcy Savali, our thumbs up moderator, our subscribe moderator. She's telling you to do both. Also to go over to Teaquilts LLC on Facebook. Join that, but make sure that you also answer those 4 questions so that you gain admission. Also, when I ask you for a quilt block, do not put 9-patch or log cabin, because you will not get in, because that's something that a spammer can easily find. So put something else. You can even put a tool or notion, anything. And then I will let you get into that group as well. Y'all, I did not think I was going to have as much fun as I had in Houston this year. So let's see who's in this chat first. So let's start with that. Start at the top. And also, Darcy's reminding me to tell you all, because she keeps me on track, y'all, that I'm live on Saturdays, 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I normally do live sew-and chat. But when things like this come up, then that gets changed. Whenever I have large hauls, I might use Saturday, because I do have 2 hours. Also, today I'm back from Houston, so I don't care if it's 2 hours or not. We're going to talk about Houston. And Wednesdays, I'm also live. It's at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for 1 hour, and that's the real chat day. Every once in a while, if I'm working on a project, behind on projects, which I'm always behind, I might sew on those as well. But anytime you're in any of my chats, and if I'm not doing a lecture type chat, you can ask me any question on any topic, and I'll be more than willing to help you if I can. And if I don't know, I will try to get you the resources. And if I can't get you the resources, I'll definitely tell you I don't know, because I don't feel like I know everything. And also, remember also in quilting that there's more than one way to get to the same end result. So, in the chat also, we have Donette Branson saying her rent's paid. That means she has hit that thumbs up button. Have you? If not, go hit the thumbs up button for me. I would really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Sheila Willis is here. Sheila is still in Houston, Texas. I did get to spend some time with her and Paula Sherman and Tracy Middlebrook. And Tracy had a couple of friends. And I met so many Teaquilters. I was also with Bonita Nance at the quilt show as well. So it was funny, because the 4 of us all came from different states, or even Tracy, 5. All 5 of us were all one person from a different state. So it was really cool. And I met other Teaquilters. Let me say the most excited Teaquilter to meet me was Miss Topaz. She was a hoot. I really appreciated her. And it's always wonderful to put a face to the name. And she was with, I think, 3 other friends as well with her at the show. And she lives in Texas. I'm not sure what part of Texas, but I think she lives in Texas. So it was awesome. And I wasn't even supposed to be at the show today, and I saw her today. So something told me to go to the show, and I was supposed to meet her today. She was just a bubble of excitement when she saw me, and it was just hilarious. So I met so many Teaquilters. I'm not going to remember everybody's name. I didn't even take pictures with everybody, because, you know, I'm trying to enjoy the show. Sometimes I'm videotaping. Sometimes I don't even think about a camera in doing that. So a lot of times I had people just, if they would send me a photo, I'll show it to you in the video that I'm going to upload for the show. I'll put those pictures in there. Also here is Bonita Nance talking about, hey, Miss T, long time. Carissa Reninger is here. Celeste is here. Eric Oda. We talked about you at Sawyer Creek, Eric, with the, and I'll talk about that too a little bit, but we talked about you at Sawyer Creek. Holly Duvall is here. Darcy says she got her ruler lip today, so that's cool. Linda Parrish is here. So glad to see you live. Thanks for all your sharing. You're welcome, welcome. Cynthia Shades here. Oh, Eric talking about, girl, I come and you go in Houston now. So yeah, I left Houston. I actually, that's a whole nother issue. Let me get through who's in the chat first. Claudette Hall's here. Claudette, I think you're the one that I forgot to mail the panel to. I saw your email. I'll get it in the mail. I forgot. I was just sitting down doing books, and then I kept doing books. I wasn't even supposed to do more books, and then forgot to put the panel that she won in the book. But you will get it eventually. My next trip to the post office, hopefully. Michelle the Quilter is here. It's still sitting right here. Yeah, it is Claudette Hall because I put her name on it. I go, mail with documentary book. But it's been sitting here ever since you won it. So that's why it wasn't included. I'm a mess. Michelle the Quilter says, hi T&T Quilters, glad you are home safe. I received my book. I love it. And thanks for the extras. You're more than welcome. For the people that got their documentary books from me, if you would have ordered direct, you would have gotten your book for $35, probably with the shipping included. And because you wanted me to autograph it, you had to pay for shipping. So I was trying to add something into some of the packages as well. Trying to compensate a little bit. Diane McCoy is here. Vivian Calvi. Joe Cormel and Leetta Bryant. Let's see, who else? Phyllis G. Joy Sterling. Carol Williams. Ingrid Sozidal. I was wondering if this person was going to be here. Sharon Lewis. Girl, I heard somebody told me you just doing the thing, girl. I'm so happy for you that you retired and you can travel now. That is too cool. So I'm surprised to even see you on here tonight. So that's cool. T. Edwards says, welcome home. Let's see. Trying to get everybody before I start. Ingrid Sozidal, I think I said that one. Helena Marie Carter. Joe Cormel received her book. And thank you. You're welcome. Sue Allen and Suzette Peterkin Denton is also here. Sharon received her book. Melissa Makes Quilts is here. Zandra Odom is here. Wanda Jamerson, Lori Anderson, C. Rax is here, and Linda Denton is here. So I had such a good time in Houston. So I left here Wednesday. Flight was delayed a little bit by maybe an hour because they delayed like in half-hour increments. And even still, when we got to the airport, I still didn't get on board. We still didn't board on time. So, and it was because of our traffic controller. So a lot of flights were delayed. And then because of not being able to land or not being able to go up. So some people were flying around particular areas until they got the okay from the air traffic controllers that were working to land. And I'm not mad about any of that because I don't know what their internal struggles are. And if you feel you need to strike, that's, you need to do what you feel is best for you. You're the one that has to suffer consequences of striking or not striking. So I don't have any opinion on that. It's not my war. I will just support whatever it is that they're doing. Flying itself is just very complicated. So yeah, so I didn't get to Houston early like I was supposed to, because I was just supposed to go straight to the hotel, check in, and then go straight to the show. Well, I got in late. Bonita got in. We thought we were at the same airport. There's 2 different airports in Houston for people that don't know. And we thought we were going to be in at the same airport, but we weren't. So then we had to get to the hotel. And then we had to get to the show. And when we got to the show, where we get it had to be like 7 o'clock when we got there, or something, 7:30 maybe, between 7 and 7:30. We got at the show, because we had to figure out where we were going because there wasn't great signage. And the reason is because now you're buying tickets on the outside instead of inside. And so and they closed that at 6 o'clock. But nowhere on the inside does it say that. So we go up to classes and stuff because both of us had prepaid for the entire event, as well as we had some classes. I'll talk about those too. And so we go up there, everything is closed. So we could not check in. And opening night is the night everybody, if you're in Houston, you want to go, because people tend to go by, if it's any new, like if you're following someone or some company and they got some new product, most people will go fly over there and get it on night 1 because they're going to possibly sell out. So yeah, you definitely want to get in on opening night. Well, nobody will let us in the doors. And then we just kept going from one door to the next, and then we got to the last door. And it was like, I don't know, about 5 minutes to 8 by now. And the lady said, let them in, because Bonita was all on her phone trying to show that she had confirmation that we both were together and all of that. And I could have gotten in if we had to get Bonita in, because I could have gotten in if I had just called Quilt Easy, because they would get me in. But I had to make sure that Bonita get in. So we was trying to see if they would take it. And of course they were at the door still saying no, but one lady was there. She says, just come on in. She said it's free at 8 o'clock anyway. I never knew that it was free to get in there at 8 o'clock, whether you had a ticket or not at 8. So that was a shocker. But we got in. And then I did do a live while we walked around that first part. We didn't go up and down, but I think we didn't even get to we were in the row 500s when I shut down, because we only had an hour. So that would be 5 aisles of vendors that I just kind of walked you all through, but I did not really go into a whole lot of them. I just went into a couple of them, because we just really didn't have a whole lot of time. Cynthia Dixon is here. She says, hey, Miss T, I spoke with you at the museum opening and also at the festivals. Cynthia Dixon. Hey, girl, yeah. It was so much fun. I had so much fun. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures. I got the assistant texting me, telling me that I need to post something on Facebook. I don't even be thinking about pictures and stuff. I'm just living my best life while I'm at this show. So I did meet a whole lot of people. I'm sorry I did not take a picture with everybody. And if you have a picture and I didn't take a picture on my phone, you can send it to me too at teaquilts@teaquilts.com, so that I can include it when I upload the video for the show. And Eric said that he was delayed about 45 minutes coming in too. So yeah, it's a lot. And then when I came home today, Southwest on a Saturday, I had never come home on a Saturday, especially flying. Well, flying, I've never come home on a Saturday at all. It's always on a Sunday if I'm doing some kind of weekend thing, or a Monday. But I have never flown in on a Saturday. Southwest had so many flights coming in, had so much luggage on just two baggage terminals, rotating things, that it took me a long time to get my luggage because they had so many flights. I bet they had about 9 to 10 flights all come in around the same time. And so all that baggage only got 2 of those turnstile tables, whatever they call that, the luggage carrier thing. They only had 2 of those. And so they had like 2 and 3 flights all on one thing. It was a hot mess, and people were everywhere. I had never experienced that in my life. So yeah, it was just different and weird. Hi Clovis Gardner, welcome. So yeah, Wednesday night, it didn't appear to us that there were a lot of people there, but they said that they were in there when the doors first opened. And so we went straight to the vendor side because I figured that's where most people would be. But there, it could have been that it was more people over on the quilt side, but I didn't get a chance to get over there Wednesday night. We only had that 1 hour. And so I didn't see a lot of people. But surprisingly, on Thursday, there was a slew of people in there, and I was really happy because now we're starting to bump into people, and that's kind of what I want to see at the quilt show, because I haven't had that the last couple of times that I've been. It has not been like that, so I'm glad that the crowd has picked up. And then Friday it was really, really crowded, and today it was really crowded. It was hard getting around people because people were moseying around looking, and so it was hard to get up and down the aisles, and that's the kind of thing you want to see at a big quilt show. So the only concern is that their plans for next year. I heard that Quilt Market was not well attended, and a lot of people from Market were not impressed and did not make it the money that they thought they were going to make. And so I don't know how Quilt Market next year is going to play out, but keep in mind, I got something else I'm going to tell you. So a lot of the vendors were not happy with the results of Quilt Market, so much so even I was told by some vendors that they even apologized about the poor attendance at Quilt Market. So I don't know. I do know a couple things that's going on with that. And one is that H&H Americas. I think that they're going to be competing with H&H Americas now. I told you that was the thing that Kevin and I went to in May. I videotaped a lot of that for you all while we were there. So I think that's going to be competing with Quilt Festival and Quilt Market. I'm not going to go into more H&H because we're talking about Quilt Festival, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. Next year, the planning dates, it's a little bit weird. One of the issues that Quilt Festival is having is that they don't have priority over the facility if they don't rent out the entire thing, and it has not been enough vendors and or quilts, because I feel like the quilts were there this time, but I didn't feel like the vendors were there. It seemed like it was less vendors to me, but I could be dreaming. I saw a lot of new vendors that I didn't know about though, so that was great. But it's something, we don't have the whole place. We're still missing, I think, 2 halls, A and B. We had C through E or whatever it went to. I don't know if it went to, I think it went to E. So we still don't have the full center, when in the past they've had the entire center. So if you have the entire center, you can almost pick your dates, and they're going to bump your date over anyone else's. If they're only renting one hall or 2 halls, then if you want all the halls, then you'll get the space. So with that being said, they're not renting the whole thing. And so Quilt Market, if you notice, is October this year, 2025. It's normally the first week of November. Well, next year it's going to be the week before Thanksgiving. And a lot of people, now it's normally the first week in November. And a lot of people saying that that's when they start preparing for Thanksgiving. The vendors have told me this, and some of the people who attend have told me this. So I feel like if they keep with that date without even consulting with the public about that or their vendors about that, they're going to slide backwards. And I hate for that to happen, because I feel like this crowd was a little bit more than it was the last time that I was there. And so it's gonna be weird if they do that and then they go slip that attendance again. And I don't think that they can financially afford to do that. And Eric says, no, you're right. Not as many vendors compared to years past. I think it's crazy that next year's festival is a week before Thanksgiving. That's said. Sue GSD is here letting you all know it's 276 days to Retreat Reunion 2026, and glad you're back safely. Sue, I just found my birthday check from you. Is it okay to cash that check? Because I put stuff here. I've been so busy lately with Quilt Guild, documentary. I have not handled gift cards. I'm going to be getting all of that stuff lined up. My daughter talks about me bad. She said, I ain't never met nobody that hold on to that type of stuff. It's free stuff somebody give you, and it's free, and you can go buy, and you holding on to stuff. I have gift cards like 5 and 6 years sometimes, but I'm trying to get better. So yeah, so it's gonna be, I feel like if they do that, it might be the death of Quilt Festival if they do that, because I don't think that they can afford to take that loss. C-Rex says it was less vendors and more booths were smaller than the other. Yeah, whenever you get kind of like new people vending at Quilt Market, they will only get one booth. It's very expensive to vend at Quilt Market. Paducah is expensive too, but not as expensive as Quilt Market, but it's very expensive to vend at Quilt Market. And then there are so many other factors like paying for parking downtown. If they have to store your stuff because of Quilt Market or other things happening, or you got to get a truck back, they got those fees. So it's a lot of things that go into nickel and diming you. If you want electricity at Quilt Market, you have to pay additional over your booth rent for electricity. So it's a lot that goes into vending, that when you see these booths, that's why sometimes I'll just go in and talk to some of the people. Even if I'm not interested in the product, I just go in and talk to people that I see sitting alone and nobody is in their booth. I'll just go over and talk to them. Even if I'm not going to spend any money, at least they probably have been sitting there for an hour or more and nobody is even communicating with them, and they spent all this money to have a booth. So that's kind of what I do. Just to acknowledge them. Rhonda Barlow is here. And Cynthia is also saying it's going to be interesting next year. So I wanted to just get that part out of the way, because you all need to be aware of what's going on. I'm really encouraging everybody that can to try to get to Quilt Market, because I feel like if we don't, it's going to be the end of Quilt Market. It was kind of like the Machine Quilters quilt show. I used to put suggestions down for things that I saw was a problem, and they never addressed those. I feel like I wasn't the only one that had those problems. It wasn't like I was nitpicking. I was just giving them real advice on what they needed to do, and none of that stuff ever took place, and then it was gone. I really hated. I love the Machine Quilters it was long arm, no, it was just Machine Quilters Quilt Show, because it was any machine, it could be quilted on anything. Because at one point when we first started, I'm going to come back to this a little bit, but when we first started, maybe I'll talk about this now because I don't have anything to show on it anyway. But I took a class, and the class was on AI in quilting. And so she did a little bit of demonstrating, basically telling us what program she used. If I was trying to use AI for myself, I probably wouldn't get it 100% correct. And then she was using one AI program to populate for a second AI program, which I didn't fully understand that. But in the end, I went to a lecture and paid $15 for somebody to have a pet peeve about AI quilts and regular creative made quilts were being kind of judged together. So, okay, my concern with that, AI is a tool just like other things that we use for quilting, like electric quilt. You don't have to design your quilt. You can go in electric quilt and pull up an already pre-made quilt, and then you can add a couple different lines in it and make it just slightly different, but it really wasn't your creative idea from start to finish. And so you don't list that you put this into EQ to make this quilt, or any of your other sewing notions that we use for quilting. So basically she wanted to have a category that was just all quilts that dealt with AI, because she felt like people were making quilts with AI and they weren't telling that they were making quilts with AI. I'm like, what difference do it make? They still had to make the quilt. So I fully didn't understand her pet peeve, and I felt like I shouldn't have had to pay $15 and sit for an hour to listen to that rant. I look at that as the same as when long arm or machine quilted quilts first, because when we first was having quilt shows, all quilts and quilt shows were hand quilted. And then you had the people that started using their domestic machines, and then the people that were hand quilting didn't want to be judged with the people that had used their sewing machines for quilting. Well, that went away after a few years. So then it got to be domestic machine quilted over long arm quilting, and that's when the long arm quilting people said, well, we're just going to make a thing that says it's just all machine quilters quilt show. And that lasted for a while, but you see how everything is now merged back together. Nobody is deciphering between hand quilted unless that's a particular category that the show is using that year. It's not something that's standard anymore. You just submit your quilt's juried in or not. It doesn't matter if it's how it's quilted, how it's pieced, what tools you use. It's on the photos that you send in. So I just think it was just a lot for that. So I would never attend a class from her again. And I'm not going to put any names out either. So don't even ask me. I am not going to put any names out. Hold on. My screen moved. Cynthia saying it's getting to be expensive, and also that it's going to be interesting next year. Yeah. So I was hearing from some of the vendors that I talk with. I know I help some vendors out sometimes, and because I help those vendors out, then I start talking to more vendors that I've never helped out, but they just know that sometimes I help out the other vendors. And so I've been hearing from some of the vendors that they don't even know if they're coming back to, next year or ever, because they were not happy with them, especially those that did Quilt Market as well as Quilt Festival. So it's going to be interesting, and I just pray that them people come together, do some brainstorming, talk with their vendors, talk with your community that shows up to these shows. Even if you have to postpone that show to February, you got to do what you got to do if these people are not going to come the week before Thanksgiving. So, but I don't know what the solution is. Eric says, I talk with them when they're not busy, but I end up buying something which is bad for my wallet. Yeah, that's he's talking about Sawyer Creek. Melissa says, oh no, I hope it doesn't end. I haven't ever been able to go yet. Y'all better get up there, because I'm telling you, I feel like it was kind of reviving, coming back. I don't know if it was because it was a different week, like it was in October, because I kind of like October. But I don't think October is available next year, because if it was, they probably would have taken it over the week before Thanksgiving. I kind of like this new date. I don't know if it worked for the vendors though, because, or the people who, like the shop owners that are buying from the vendors, because Quilt Market is different. And if they didn't have good showing on Quilt Market, they need to be doing some heavy duty surveying. Somebody should have already typed a survey to send to those vendors, asking them what they can do differently. And the people who usually attend market, they need to get a survey too, because it's a lot that something is wrong if market wasn't well attended. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Remo JS. She's reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button as well. Thank you. Sin Forest is here. Let's see. Trying to make sure I get everybody. If I missed you, just put it down there again. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Okay. I have this stuff in no particular order. It just popped up an ad for me. I hope it don't knock me out. I have this stuff in no particular order. Hi, June Hansen. I can't even remember if I even showed this stuff. Came from Checker, and I'm not even sure if I ever showed you all this. Let me just run through it just in case. This is from Checker. This has nothing to do with Quilt Market, but this is Anna Maria's Blueprint Quilting. Explore color, pattern, and technique with 16 joyful projects from 4 simple design structures. So this is the book. And I'm just going to turn to the back to show you the 4 different design structures right there. Okay. I don't know why I bought this, but I bought it. It must be something that I saw a pattern in and I wanted it, so I got it. So I just wanted to show that because it was down here and in a box, and I don't know if I ever showed it. And I just want to make sure you're not missing anything. Some other things that I bought was Quilty Cabins, a pattern from, this all came from Checker. A girl in my scrap club made this, and I thought it was cute. Now, I don't know who I'm going to make a cow quilt for. I keep having ideas when I buy it, and then it's like it changes so fast. And then I bought these Villa Rosa Banner Days. I thought this was really cute. It could be used, you can make, like it's just a banner, but you could keep making this in a row and make as many rows as you like, and I thought it would still be a cool Quilt of Valor pattern. It's pretty simple. And then I also have Orange Dot Quilts. This quilt bag here looks really funny on the front, but here it is in fabric. So I just wanted to share those before I move on to the next great thing. Okay. I can't even really remember everything that I bought. I remember 3 main things that I bought that were my favorites. And I'm going to save that for last. And one of the things that I did was, it seemed like it's always a lot of people giving out bags. And sometimes I feel like people give them out freely, and other times you almost got to go beg for them. I say beg, you got to ask for them because they have them hidden. And I feel like you are begging because they want you to buy something. And if you don't buy something, they don't really want to give you the bag. So, but anyway, I went bag collecting. So we're going to start with that. I may have stuff in these bags because at one point I was using bags to hold stuff. I tried to take everything out of these bags, but I'm going to go over these bags because I'm eventually going to do something with these bags. So I want to just show you what I got. Some of the bags are really pretty too. And we will go from there. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing with all this stuff as I'm pulling it out either. My Bernina case here. Did I lose a locking? Is it something? Why is my Bernina case not closing? Is there something not in here right? Oh, I got a plastic bobbin in here. Like, where'd that come from, first of all? I don't know. It's like this case is broken. It's not closing. I have to figure that out later. But anyway, pretty bags were at the show this year. We'll start with the pretty color here. This pretty color pink from Handy Quilter. It's pretty big, so I'll start putting the bags in here because I'm taking them out of another bag. This one is Be Sew In. They represent quite a few different things. They Baby Lock and AccuQuilt. So anytime you see the AccuQuilt in Houston, what they do is they pull their highest selling store or something in an area when there's a quilt show in that area, and then that's who becomes the show sponsor for that. And then it's not really an AccuQuilt booth, but it's a whole quilt shop booth, but they have a whole huge section of AccuQuilt stuff. So this is Be Sew In, powered by fabric, fueled by thread, inspired by Be Sew In. All right, so that's one. I'm just going to check each bag to make sure there's nothing in it. Most of them are going to be empty, which is a good thing because I call myself cleaning them out. This bag here I really like because it's a 2-in-1. This is Necky, or I say Necky. I don't know how they say it. But that's what I say. Enjoy your passion. And then on the other side is the Innova. And they were together, so they ended up doing a bag that was dual, so that's going to work very well for me. And Nova says built to quilt. So like that. This bag here, I had put all my bags up the day before, and we go back up in there and we need a bag, okay, because we had either checked stuff or, so this was a bag from AccuQuilt. And then they had you cutting using their dies. You could cut stuff to put into the bag. And so this bag is empty. And I can make whatever I want with it. So I will put something, hopefully, with AccuQuilt. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it won't be AccuQuilt. I did die cut some pieces acting like I was going to go over there. And because you have to do the die cutting first before you get the bag. And so I die cut the pieces and act like I was going to do that. But I needed a bag to put my water bottle. And I'll show you that. It's sitting right there too. We have Sweet Pea. They always have glitter-ish, metallic-y type bags. So very pretty bag. Plain on the back. Pretty bag. All right. So I put that one over there because it's got pieces that I die cut that I'm not going to use in there. Eric said Be Sew In had a whole aisle. You got that? It was not like they went across the aisle. Like there's aisles going this way. Well, they went across like 1, 2, 3, 4. So they had like 4. They went across 4 sections. They were huge. Grace is always huge. They also have the True, whatever that True ruler type stuff is, they have. That's Grace. They're always huge. This bag has stuff in it, so we'll talk about it. So I was stopped in the hall and asked if I wanted a Bernina bag to put all my other bags in, because this was Thursday when I was really collecting the bags. And I said, sure. And then when I get to the hotel, when I'm taking things out of my backpack, it doesn't have Bernina on this bag. But this is the quilt shop that represented Bernina. Again, whenever you have sewing machine companies, they take the local place that is their highest seller who's willing to come. And then they're the ones that are making the sales at the show. You're not really purchasing directly from Bernina. But on the bag, they didn't even put Bernina on here. But this is Sovac City. But I thought the bow was very pretty. True Cut System. Thank you, Eric. It's like I can't remember because I bought that system years ago. Do you know it's still in the pack unopened? Yeah. Let's see what's, oh, I know what's in there. And then also be so in, I want to talk about that, is that they had sewing machines. Let me get one of each because I got two of that. And they're going to be backwards on the screen because that's what YouTube is doing to me right now. But they had 5 different stickers, and then you could go around to the Be So In 4 things across 4 aisles, or across 4 rows, really. You could go get this. So this is Be So In's, the green sticker. This one was for June Taylor. This one looks a little not focused to me, but that's June Taylor's. And all of this, so this is what they were representing. So June Taylor was one too then. AccuQuilt, I already told you they were representing AccuQuilt. And then this is Quilter Select. They were representing that too. That's the Alex Anderson rulers, if you're not sure what that is. And then they also had Baby Lock. So yeah, lots. And we ended up getting an extra one of that one by mistake, because as you're collecting, you ain't got time to look and see. You just trying to collect your stickers so you can get in and out. And Be So In, I believe they probably were very successful at festival because it was always a gazillion people over in that area. So yeah, all right. I guess I could talk about this. Another class that I attended is no, this has nothing to do with that class, so I don't have to talk about that yet. I saw this jacket hanging on the end cap of one of the people's booths, and even though it was listed in Checker distributor for me to get, they were talking about it wasn't going to be available till August 2026. And I'm like, later for that. So I went ahead and bought it because I normally don't buy patterns and things when I'm at the show if it's not wholesale pricing for me. But I just went ahead and bought it because I wanted to have the jacket. I did try the jacket on and I liked it. And it has a hood, which you can see on her head right there. So I went ahead and got that. So it's called the Quilted Coat Pattern by Carling Loves Cats. Quilt coat pattern. Okay, so I bought that. That was $24 pattern. I did see Rob Appel, but I refused to geek out. I just act like I didn't even know who he was. Isn't that terrible? But I stopped by the Stitchin' Heavens booth because I wanted to get information on their cruises. So I met one of UT quilters in person again. I've met her before, but I forgot who she was. I met her, so we're gonna think about doing a cruise. So I'm thinking we can try a quilting cruise or we can do a regular cruise, but she mentioned that she did want to do Alaska, so I asked them if they had any Alaska cruises. So maybe I'll be looking into that. So that's what I have, is information on the quilt cruise. And the lady was really nice. She gave me a code to get something off, and I'm not going to show. That's why I'm not showing you all the flyers and stuff, because it's my code. The code's on there. This is all this stuff from AccuQuilt that we were taking stuff and putting fusible, making them appliques, fusible web on the back, but I wasn't doing that. I talked really a long time with the regional sales manager at Handy Quilter as well. I don't know. Line cutter. Oh, I know what line cutter is. That's right here. I guess it's this. I don't know. It says line cutter. This is thread cutters. I don't know if this is the same thing or not. I just got a business card here. I'm gonna skip that. This thread cutter here, they had this same thread cutter that you could get to be stuck onto your sewing machine. Like if you had a featherweight and you wanted to have a thread cutter, you could put it on your machine and then you have a thread cutter. But what I liked about this one is that they had the model where you can put it on your finger. Because when I'm doing binding in bed, because I just recently did a lot of binding because I had 4 projects to put in my quilt show that wasn't done and had to get them done in a month. Yeah, I'm still a little bit upset about it, but I got them done. And so I thought this would be really cool because then I don't have to be searching around for my snip. So they had this like 2 for $20 or $12 each. So you save $4 if you got 2 of them. But I just bought one because I want to make sure that I like it first. And I'm going to be using it when I'm doing hand work, and I can just put it on my finger and I never have to worry about my scissors. One of the things about this one is that, you know how sometimes when you cut and your thread frays out, this is the way this cutter is made. It's not supposed to do that. And then they was also selling these plain right here, plain. That's the Velcro to put it on your finger to make it adjustable. But they also had them blinged out with Swarovski crystals. Well, I didn't get that either because it was going to cost more money. I didn't even ask how much that cost because I got my own Swarovski crystals, so I can bling my own if I want to. If I'm cutting thread, just cut the thread. That's all I care about right now. So I'll be testing that out and getting back to you. I also saw the Sew a Purse people, just in case you all want to still donate to that. I did tell them that I had done it 1 year with my quilt retreat and that I'm never doing that again. It was a lot of work and I had to finish all that up, and thank God for Jennifer English because she helped me get this completed. She did half and I think I had already started on it, and she said whatever you have, just give me half, and so I gave her half. So thank God she helped me get through that. I just picked up a By Annie's fall catalog. They got the jacket that they were really promoting, and it looks really pretty in person. The girl was wearing it. It is just gorgeous. And but I didn't go in there and buy anything. I just got a catalog. I just went in and looked. Most of my By Annie stuff that I get, I would buy my own on my own from Checker, so that's why I just wanted a catalog. Okay, we got a few more bags here. This one here was an AccuQuilt bag. They also had the green go bags. I think I have the green go bag if I can find where I put them. And so I got this one as well. Shockingly fast, seriously accurate Go Boat. So they already advertising the Go Boat. I got this bag because I actually purchased something. I'll show you that whenever I get to it. Janome had a bag. It's really pretty. I thought they had one of the prettiest bags. Janome bag. All kinds of sewing notions are on here. So that was really pretty. Both sides are also did. Most bags are only one side, or Anovanem just decorated both sides to have for both companies. And then, y'all, I did not see them ever handing out the Juki bags, and I just had to walk up over there and ask them, because I'm like, there is no way that I'm at home sewing on a Juki and I see all these Juki bags, but nobody has handed me a Juki bag. So I went and asked, can I have a Juki bag? They said, sure. So this is Juki's bag. There's nothing on the back, but I got what I needed for. So you're going to be seeing these bags again at some point. It'll probably be after the new year, because I have a t-shirt quilt I need to get done for a customer now. And then I went to Quilt Easy. Y'all know I went to Quilt Easy, right? And they had all these stickers, and then they also handed out pins. The pins are somewhere else, so we'll get to those. But this one says, if you use my fabric scissors, I will cut you, but not with these scissors. So this is one. So lots of stickers I got. I was into sticker collection mode. Quilters Gonna Quilt. So I got, they had different types of quilt stickers laying up there. I went and got every last one of their stickers. Plan, cut, sew, iron, quilt, bind, love, repeat. So that's that. I'm keep getting ads on my screen, and the text thing keeps popping out. It's always happy hour when I'm quilting. Eat, sleep, quilt, repeat. I know the wording is backwards. That's why I'm reading it for you guys. You making a bag quilt? Yes, I am, Eric. I'm making a bag quilt, and I'm going to tag all these manufacturers in it. I'm making a bag quilt. Quilters don't make mistakes. We make variations. So that one's that one. And then the last one from Quilt Easy is never underestimate the power of a woman with a sewing machine. So I ended up getting all of their stickers because I knew they wouldn't care. As well, you know, wasn't like I'm in somebody's booth I don't know collecting all these stickers. She was even helping me get the stickers at some point. So I think I've talked about everything here. The last thing that I haven't talked about, this is Stitch Haven. I just need to get it back in the papers. The last thing up here right now is the Glitter Bug Fairy. I didn't know anything about this company. It doesn't say on here what they're out of. But I ended up buying some zipper pulls. I have plenty of things of zipper. I bought zipper, the zipper part you put onto the zipper. It has a pull on it, and I just wanted some prettier ones. So it's going to be upside down probably on the screen, but that's okay. This one's a thread spool that's made with the iridescent that changes color. And then I bought a couple of those. Excuse me. I'm about to choke myself. All of these are iridescent in color because I have a lot of iridescent zipper things. And so I got 2 stars. I'm trying to hold the zipper because you don't need to see the zipper. So 2 open stars. 2 open hearts. And they look pretty in a bag too. And then I've got this one that's kind of like a clover flower. Like a, right there. And then this one is a fancy flower, and I like this one very well. I said if I ever have to put in a black zipper, I went ahead and got it in black as well. It's really pretty. I like the shaping. I have a quilting design that quilts this out, and it looks really pretty. So it was a lot of companies that had bag making supplies. I saw Sally Tomato. I did not even go in there because I knew I would be spending money if I went in there, and it's like, I need to just use the stuff that I got. So I did not go into that. I got a pattern laying here that I bought this at H&H at wholesale, and I do have extras if anybody is ever wanting to make this jacket. I took a class on this because I wanted to see, since she was in Houston, I just said, well, you may as well, you haven't made the jacket yet, you haven't even opened the pattern and read anything. You may as well go sit in her lecture and see what it is that she has to share about this particular thing. Now, I enjoyed the lecture. I paid for a 3-hour class, and it was only an hour and a half though. And I paid quite a bit of money. Well, it was $60. Normally, if a lecture is 1 hour, you pay $15. So $15 for 1 hour, 15 times 3 is $45. I paid $60 for a 3-hour lecture class that was only an hour and a half. So I was not happy about that part. Would I go to another one of her lectures or classes? Yes, but she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. I just feel like the price point wasn't there. And that's the stuff that I just don't feel like I need to put that on an evaluation form. I'm going to be handling that with International Quilt Festival, the issues that I have. It wasn't because I felt like that was a ripoff. If I'm booked for an hour and a half class, 3-hour class, it shouldn't be an hour and a half. That means I didn't need 3 hours, and it was no sewing. It was just all lecture. So she knew that she didn't need 3 hours for that class in the get-go. She didn't even have 3 hours worth of material that she could go over in that time period. So was she very effective in teaching? Yes. Do I love the coat pattern? Yes. I love the versatility, the things that she's doing with it, the different ways that you can use it. But I just feel like International Quilt Festival ripped me off via her because she scheduled a 3-hour class that really wasn't a 3-hour class. So, but it's called The Elemental Coat. It's by Crinkle Dreams. Teresa Coates is her name. And the coat looks, you can have a hood on it. You can have a crop coat. See, this one is cropped. You can have it long down to past your mid-thigh, and then you can also have it just past your waist, the last lady. And this is one of the jackets in color on the back. You can't see a whole lot of it. That's the back of the jacket. But the jackets look really nice. I did not go up and try anything on. I already knew I had the pattern, so I really didn't want to stay and hang around because I knew I wasn't going to buy anything. I already had the pattern. And they even came out with a children's version of this same pattern. I can't remember if she said sizes 2, starting at sizes 2 through like 10 or something. I can't remember, but I know that it was a number of sizes for children that you could also make it. So people saying love the stickers. Eric says, I'll send you So Yes back. I didn't even go into their booth, and I didn't go into Legit Quilts because they had a small booth and it was people in there all the time, and I don't know if they had a bag or not. But yeah, thank you, Eric. I'll take it. Carissa says, I don't make anything with zipper pulls or zipper tapes, but keep buying more. So maybe so many cute ones, yes. And it's like when I get ready to make it, and it's like every once in a while, something might be for a special gift or something, and you want an actual zipper pull and not just the zipper itself. And I do have some zipper pulls on the zipper that's long, and that pull itself is the zipper pull, and it looks cute too. But there's other times that if I don't use that, then I don't have a zipper pull. So yeah, so I'm trying to get zipper pulls. So yeah, if I missed your comment, you can put it down below. Okay, so I went back the third day, which was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I forgot my bag. No, I think because I was in class. I can't remember, but I had to go get another Janome bag because I needed a bag to put my water bottle in. So that's what I did. And then, I ain't going to put nobody's business out in the street, so I ain't going to say no names. So this is the same Janome bag. I just got 2, so that means I can actually keep one. I was with somebody who was in Quilt Easy's booth thinking about buying the Quilt Easy software for long arming, and they needed some frame for their machine. They're going to use a domestic machine, not a long arm machine. And so then I went over to Grace and started helping that person figure out what they needed at Grace. And then when I got through because I gave Grace a sale because they weren't offering out bags for free, I said, can I have a bag? So I got a bag and the person got a bag. Okay, I ain't putting no names out there, but that person also got the software for Quilt Easy. So that was cool too. So this is Grace with True Cut. It's a drawstring bag. I think I can still use it. It's a different texture. I hate to almost cut it up because it is a pretty drawstring bag. It would be nice to use to put like, when I have I use my Gamma bag that's a drawstring, and this is bigger. I almost need to not cut this bag. I may not cut this bag. They may not make the quilt. Because you know the clips that you can use to hang your quilts with instead of putting, if you don't have a rod on your quilt. I ordered more of those clips because I'm planning on doing some more vending next year. And I even got a display thing coming up in November. So I need this bigger bag. So we'll see if they all fit in here. then True Cut's not going to make the quilt. Grace Company won't make the quilt. But if they don't all fit in here, and I got to still have 2 different things, then I'm going to make something to fit all of them. But we'll see what happens with that. May or may not. What I bought from AccuQuilt. I bought 2 things from AccuQuilt. Oh, they had some really pretty project bags laying out. I really don't buy these June Taylor things, but I ended up buying 2. And I didn't know how to make project bags, but I decided they got enough in here to make 2 bags. What's the price on here? Did they have a price on this one? Because some of them they had prices on, and then they give you one that didn't have a price so that they didn't have to price everything. But you've got everything in here. They've got a zipper that looks like, I've never seen this texture of a zipper. It almost looked like it's leather. And I don't know, because I haven't opened it up to be in there, and I don't want to open it up, because if I do that, I'm going to need a plastic zip bag so I don't lose any of the pieces. But they say there's enough in here to make 2 project bags, and they were pretty good size. If I have a receipt down here, I'll let you know, but what is this receipt? This is the food court. So that's not going to help me. And then the other thing that I bought from them is, this one has a price. It was $20.24. I could never find this on Checker, so I just went ahead and bought it. It's the Go Cutter Instructions Quilt As You Go quilt. The Go Cutter cover. It's a cover for your Go. If you can see that. I can never find these on Checker. I even went on there standing at the show, and for some reason they won't give them to Checker to sell. They haven't submitted that into Checker, and I don't know how Checker get their inventory list, that people submit items to them, or if they go after them to get stuff. But they have all the other stuff from June Taylor like this, but they don't have the Go Cutter cover. This one is also Be Sew In, but it was a different bag, different type, I think. And if it isn't, because I know they had 2 different bags from Be Sew In. Let me show it to you just in case. But it's like this. I can't remember what the other one looked like. I thought they had 2 different bags, and I could have accidentally gotten, both of the same bags, All right. So, since I'm on a mission to make all of this stuff, I went back into Butler's booth after I harassed them about, most of the time I was there, okay? So I went back into their booth, and they got Butler fabric hanging all on the tables and, draped around the machines. And I'm like, hey, I know y'all got some more fabric under these tables. Go cut me a piece of that fabric. And they just gave it to me, talking about cut whatever you want. I'm like, I just need a small piece. I don't need a lot. I just want to make sure that if I do a quilt, Butler don't have bags, but I wanted to make sure that Butler would be included in the quilt, because I'm like, that wouldn't be cool if I make a vendor quilt and Butler's not in it. So I went and got some of their fabric. Was it upside down? I can't remember. There you go. I want to make sure you see it. It's still backwards for you guys, so I apologize with that. But you know what it is. But I got a piece. They just cut me a piece off because they can't do anything with a middle piece. So I got a piece of Butler fabric. I'm going to skip that right now. I'm going to show you this, although you may or may not get this. I can't remember if I already have fat quarters. I always try to get like a fat quarter for a retreat, and I'm not sure if I already have fat quarters for 2026 or if these will go for a different year. But I found a store. Sure, the name's right here. Fabrics, etc. I should have remembered that, but I didn't. And I go into their shop, their booth every year, because all I look at is they have fat quarters for $1. Now, Benita, hold on, girl. Oh, he said, so yeah, I wasn't vending. Okay. Drawstring bags are good for packing shoes. Yeah. it's like, I hate to mess up a drawstring bag. I really don't think that drawstring bag is going to make it. Maybe I can try to make a Xerox, no, I'm talking about a Xerox copy. Make a copy or something of that bag, or go on their website and get their logo and print it on some paper. All I have currently is a laser printer, so I don't know how that's going to work either. Because normally it's inkjet that works better with that type of stuff. But the project bag kits look pretty. Thank you, Connie Olson. Patricia Priest is here. Let me make sure I haven't missed anybody else. Okay, that's it so far. So this is from Fabric Etc. Every time we are in Houston, they have dollar fat quarters. And the first time Bonita and I saw it, I said, Bonita said, you want to go over there? And I go, it was really packed. And I said, no, I'll just wait. You know, I said, they always put out more fat quarters. So we come back the next day, there was nobody. It was one lady over there. And so Bonita didn't really care about it. But I went around and got on the other side, and I said, can I share this side and you use that side? And she said, sure. So it was two of us over there. Just out of nowhere, some lady come all up under my arm, all up in between me and this lady, going through the fat quarters, and just bogarted her way in without even making an announcement, excuse me, or anything like that. And so Bonita was trying to tell her that, you know, she needed to basically back up. I can't remember, because Bonita was talking to her and I wasn't really paying attention at first. And I'm like, so I even just moved just a few inches, because I was almost to like where they had more fabric on the tables and stuff. So I was really close to that. So I gave her another couple inches, trying not to be rude. But she was all like this over me, trying to get to stuff that she didn't necessarily have to be that wild about. It was like she was over there to fight for $1 fat quarters. I go to bend down because I've looked at all the top shelves. And so I go to bend down, and she says, directly as it's happening, I sure hope that I don't make these fat quarters fall on your head. Lo and behold, fat quarters start tumbling down off the shelf onto my head. I kept my composure. I didn't even say anything to her. I just turned around. I figured I had enough, because she was mad because I was pulling fat quarters. Well, when I'm pulling fat quarters for $1 and they're just door prize fat quarters, number one, I don't really care if I like them or not. I'm just trying to get stuff that can be used in scrap quilts. So think about, I'm thinking about scrap quilts. Just about everything will work in a scrap quilt. So I don't have to like every fat quarter, just the color, things like that. Because I didn't get everything that she had. I was still choosing which ones I purchased. I just didn't have to like all of them. I just said, if I don't want to use it as a standalone fat quarter, will it look good in a scrap quilt? So that's what I did. And I didn't want any calico looking prints, okay? So I bought quite a few fat quarters. But I got like multiples, and I'm not sure if you'll see these again. That's why I'm showing them to you. And you won't have them all anyway. You only have one. This one looks Asian print, Oriental print. So I got a hand. And see, when I saw something that I like, I took the whole stack. She was trying to get in there because she saw me taking the whole stack. But I did not go off on her like I should have. And I didn't trip her when she knocked the fat quarters. I should have overreacted and knocked her down, but I was nice. I did not do that. So don't say I'm mean, because a whole lot of things could have happened. This is just one fat quarter. This is the only one they had. And then it looked like this one has words, like it was a panel that's been cut up into fat quarters. And But I said if it's cut up into a scrap quilt, you don't need the panel, but I just like all the colors that were in here, and I'm not going to open it up. You get the gist. So I got that, and I got that probably a lot because it's the same thing here, but it looks like this on the back. So imagine all of these things changing like that. And I'm not sure if this is part of it. Yeah, because it's got the green. So even part of that panel must have been using this at the top or bottom. So I got a lot of this. And I will. So yeah. They could be the same thing. It could be two different panels, but the same company. I got a lot of these. Just circles. Whole 2, 4, 6 of those. And then some more of that colorful stuff is coming out of here again. So this one is over here already. This one is probably panel-ish too, because it looks a little different. See how that looks there? And then here, but I think when it's cut up, it's kind of like African prints. When you start to cut them up, they look different. So this is the same thing I've been showing you. That same stuff down here. And then this one I already showed you right here. Like I said, if I saw something that I liked, because it was a lot of stuff that I didn't like. And so when I saw something that I did like, whatever was on the shelf, I just took it all. So this is another one here. I don't know what that is. Is it balloons or vases? It could be vases. Vase. There you go. I think that's what they are. So I didn't even look at that. I just liked that it was a different color of yellow. It's kind of gold mixed in with yellow, but it's still different colors. So that's why I got it. This is the same as this stuff down here. It's just different colorations. And then I got two different ones still in the bag. This here with the fern leaves in color. Thought that was really pretty. I will keep one of those. I'm going to keep one of the colorful things because I think it'll look cute with my Chungawang stuff. And then I got a handful of this. Nice background print. You want background prints that when you're using scrappy backgrounds that they can stand and be different from the next print. But they're not like white tone on tones where they all blend in and you don't even realize that you have a scrappy background. So yeah. Let me see what Benita says. She says, I told her at least she could say, excuse me. She says, oh, do you want to get over here? As if I wasn't there already. Because Benita did come behind that lady because she reached in and got a couple of fat quarters. And it's really no more space than for 3 people to be at that fat quarter shelf. It's about the width of my body. And then it was sitting on top of a table. And so it had maybe 4 or 5 shelves. And so when I went to bend down to get the bottom shelf, that's when everything came tumbling on my head. The bottom shelf didn't have a whole lot on it. I got what I wanted off the bottom shelf and I turned around and exited and I didn't say anything to her because it wasn't going to be pretty. So I just left. But she says, I told her, no, I want you to get away from me and don't touch me. And then when I went and got in line, eventually she comes back and she's in line behind me. And I said, you know, it's just pitiful that people drop fat quarters on your head and don't even really say excuse me or sorry or nothing. And she still don't say nothing. It's like it's ridiculous. But anyway, we got a handful of fat quarters. I think it was 50 fat quarters here that I purchased. Again, you may or may not see these in 2026 because every time I see something like this, I always have a surplus of them. And if I already got some in the container, when I go to put these in, then I'll write on them, use these first. So sometimes it takes me 2 to 3 years to use the fat quarters that I got. And by then, you're going to forget that you even saw them. All right, I'm trying to get stuff. So Butler gave as door prizes to retreat Butler pens. They did Butler pens last year with note cards. Well, this year with note cards. So they did the Butler pens, and while she was there, I just trying to save them from shipping something, and then she gave you all stickers. So I told her that says pack me for 34 people, and that's what she did. She packed me up. So all the stickers that I just showed you, you're going to get every treat. Yay! Warm. This is from the Warm Company. I just went and talked to the batting girls. I really didn't do anything. We picked this pen up from ovarian cancer. There's an organization, hopefully I'll come across the paperwork on that you can donate quilts that they use to raffle off money. Instead of donating money, you donate a quilt and then they raffle the quilt off. And that's how they make money to help ovarian cancer. I got the information. Let's see if it's in this stack of papers, because I got a lot of papers. Looking for your ovarian cancer. And they promote awareness of the symptoms and things like that. So they're raising awareness and research funds for ovarian cancer. And they do this every 2 years. So they don't do it every year, but they'll start in 2026 collecting quilts. But if you bring them to the Houston Quilt Show, they will take those from the Houston Quilt Show. But the auction is October 8th through 22. So they just started the online auction for this year for the quilts. But it's the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, which is who they're working with. And I'm trying to see, they don't have website or anything. No, yes they do. ovarianquilt.com. So you're not going to be able to read it, but it's ovarianquilt.com is the website. So if you want to donate a quilt, I think this would be a great cause. They had the quilts that were donated. They picked some of them that they saved to put. They're not saved. They're online to be raffled, but they pulled some of the quilts and put them into their booth. They had a double booth, and so they had their own little quilt show in their booth. And some of the people that had made the quilts were surprised to see that their quilt was hanging there. So that was cool. This was an exhibit. I'm not going to talk about that. They just was determined to give it to me. Bonita went to a class by Barbara Black that talked about your estate, especially with quilting, and she was explaining all of that. I'm not going to go into that, but she was basically saying that your fabric, as we buy fabric, then once you buy it, the value of it diminishes fast, so it doesn't have the value that we think it has anymore. But again, when people say that type of stuff, and then Bonita was saying, but if it's vintage, how come people pay more for vintage fabric? So it just depends. And so everything is not in always. I think sometimes instructors try to present like this is what it is, and it's not like that all the time. Like Tula. You buy Tula fabric, and then people are selling it for 4 and 5 times what you paid for it. So it's not true all the time. She's talking about what the norm is, but it's not true all the time. This company is Cottage Mills that we showed you all on the live on Wednesday, where I bought, I don't even know where it's at. And he told me that he has an Amazon link, that if I give you all the Amazon link, that you all can get it and I'll get credit for selling. However, y'all could buy 100 of these things from Amazon, and I feel like I just don't get paid from Amazon on a regular basis. So I don't know how you make money on Amazon. You have to be a big YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers, and then maybe 100,000 of them go over there and buy it, and then you make some money. But this was the ruler lip thing that we talked about. I think somebody said that theirs came in, but you put this on the lip of your ruler. See if I can open it. Remo says she had ovarian. I had ovarian cancer. My grandmother didn't survive it. Wow. Okay, but this lip, I'll just pick a ruler. Goes onto your ruler. And then you use it to pull back. Like if you're on the edge of your fabric, like and I can't really demonstrate that here. I have a Olipha ruler that has a lip, but no other ruler has it, and I really don't like the Olipha ruler other than the fact that it has a lip. So that's why I bought this. But I like that I can pull this down, especially when I'm cutting like my folded fabric. This will be on your folded fabric, and then you know it's square to the fabric, and then you cut. So that's what this does, and then it just glides up and down this book that I got here. But that would be my fabric that you'd be doing that with. So I was just trying to explain what that is. I'll give you all a link once this video go live. I'll put it in. I'll put it as a pinned message. So you can, if you want to get it, I'll give you the information, give you the link, because he's telling me I did have some phone calls and people were asking me about it. So you all were calling him, and he told me I want you to get credit for the sale. So he's like, just put it through the Amazon link. So I'll do that, but it's okay because it takes me a long time to get money from Amazon. Lisa Quilts. This was the one that talked about, was she the one? Yeah, she's the one that talked about stitching to sell, which was another lecture that I went to. And it was a 1-hour lecture, $15. And out of all the lectures that I went to, she was the most organized, PowerPoint on point. And she knew her stuff. She's also an AQS certified appraiser, quilt appraiser. And so she was talking about like stitching to sell. Don't undercut the market by selling low. And they also say that about long arm quilting. You always need to research what things are selling for in your area. And don't try to make yours like $5 cheaper just so that you can sell yours, because what it does is it make it so that the market won't accept the real price. And also stating that like the Department of Labor Statistics states that fine artists should be making about $27 an hour, and whereas I feel like that ain't even enough money per hour on some of the things that we sell, especially when you're starting to pay people working in fast food restaurants $15 to $20 an hour. Yeah, 27 something is not anything for something that's a skill that most people can't do. But when you tally up how much long you actually, like even when I do t-shirt quilts for people, I don't really make money if I put my labor into it. So I'm just making sure that I at least get my product out of it. And I really am doing it because I love to quilt and sew. And that's what all of us are really working at. She says she feels like the average person makes about $10 to $12 an hour. Even famous people, by the time you vary in everything that goes into making a quilt and how much time it takes. So yeah, but that was a good lecture. I don't know why I have this one. Studio 18. I don't know how I got that. It must have been in a bag or something. I don't know. Because I don't know anything to tell you. Okay, and then the last couple of times that I've been, and I didn't go 2 years ago. For the last 2 years, I didn't go. They've had some really huge mural type quilt on the wall, and this year they had Ukraine. So the quilters of Ukraine made this mural, and you're gonna see it in the video. And I also took pictures of it so you can have a standalone picture. And she even talked and explained how 47 quilters came together to make this mural, and they all worked on it independently. But when you look at it, it looks like they were all working on it together. So they had a master plan, but it's like even carrying from one place to the next. Sometimes people accidentally use the same fabric, and it looked like it carried in, instead of being like red over here on the road and then it would be blue over here, it'd just be a different color red, but it kind of like flowed, and sometimes it looked like they almost had the same fabric. So it was just kind of weird how it all came together, and it's a gorgeous quilt. And then they're also currently working on sunflower, and that's what she wanted me to talk to you all about, is that they're doing a sunflower quilt for Ukraine. And let's see if she's got the measurement on here. She does not on the front. She said, join thousands of quilters around the world in creating the world record quilt for peace. A powerful statement from the international quilting community standing against war and for healing. What we're creating, yes it is. Hey, we are building a 1,100 meter long quilt. So I don't know what that is in inches or feet. You all figure it out. And she says the length of Kiev Main Street. I ain't gonna be able to read that. Krachaki, something like that. Something like that. As a symbol of unity, resilience, and peace. Already over 600 meters have been stitched by quilters and artists from 36 countries. How can you join? She says she wants you to make a block that's edge to edge, 12 and 1/2 inch unfinished. It must be blue and yellow. It can be any block that you want to make. And the blue and yellow, for those that don't know, is Ukraine national colors. And she says, you can work as a team. Create a group or a guild project. Each quilt top includes 96 blocks. That would be like 98 by 196 inches if you want to do that. Or you can just donate with each block and then add like a $10 donation to help rebuild lives if you want. She says with each block add a $10 donation. I'm sure they will take your block if you don't give the $10 donation. Every quilt top raised equals $960, the cost of one reconstructive surgery for a soldier or civilian of Ukraine. And she says still to this day that there's still bombs and things like that. And I did ask her because the USA did make a lot of blue and yellow quilts, and I think that was in 2022, and sent them over. And I did ask her, did she ever know anything about those quilts coming over to Ukraine? Has she seen any of those quilts? And she did say yes, they came from lots of countries, and they said that they were giving them out to families in need. And she says that when new bomb threats would come, they were giving them mostly to kids first, and said that the kids would be taking their quilts with them down into the bomb shelter. So I just wanted to make sure that the stuff that did go over, and like I said in the video, I let her talk the whole spiel, and I just asked her a couple questions just because I wanted to know, and I figured you all might want to know. So yeah. So your quilt can heal. Where to send the quilt to and how to help. Our U.S. partners are Wrap the World with Quilts, collecting blocks and quilt tops nationwide. Donate directly to Ukraine charity or using the QR code below. Every stitch and every dollar matters. We can patch the world back together. So that would be the QR code. It's gonna be backwards. I don't know if it's gonna work. You may have to take like a screenshot of it and then reverse the photo, and then maybe it will work. But they don't have like any actual address. And then I will try to see if I can get this uploaded, take a picture on my phone or something. And then sunflower quilt for Ukraine at gmail.com. If you need more information, I'm sure they would send you a thing again. And it is sunflower quilt for Ukraine at gmail.com. So I just thought I would share that. And when you all see it, you're going to be really amazed. You're going to be amazed. This is nice thing that the coat lady did was she did make us a handout. And the sewing to sale lady made us a handout too. So those two classes had a handout. I got some scissors in here, so I'm assuming this must have come from Quilt Butler as well, Quilt Easy. That's another sticker just in the box. Couple of another pen. AQS, when you sign up online and pay and take some classes, I guess, they give you the Houston pen for $20.25. It's in a plastic bag, but it kind of looks like it's not Christmas green. It's kind of a softer green. But that's that. Somebody, I can't remember, gave us, you can't even tell what this is in here, but it's a pair of scissors and it's a lapel pin. So got that for free from somebody. I can't remember. It might have been the guy that had the ruler thing may have given us that, because it seemed like we got it early. Houston Central West. What is this? Bill, chapter president. No kid sleeps on the floor in our town. So this was another organization that was there, and I just picked it up. I didn't stop to listen to the information, because I'm always looking for where can I donate quilts to. We got the show book, just basically telling you where the vendors are. And then I'm getting close to being, well, sort of, kind of, close to being done. What time is it? 9:38. I'm not over yet, so I don't have to make excuses yet. I go to Houston or Paducah all the time and see this, the Mighty Go sticky roller. And I never get it. And lately I've been long arming, and I'm telling you, I just keep seeing threads after threads after threads. And I'm sick and tired of trying to pull all them sheets off, because I got the one where the sheet isn't rolled straight on the roller. It's kind of like a 4-inch sheet, but it's diagonally wrapped around, and it's longer than this though. But she was saying that this, before I even have to clean it, will last like 11 times longer than the paper sheets that I'm using. So I'm interested in seeing. A lot of people, when I was asking her for a demonstration, because she wasn't really trying to harass me to buy, but I asked her for a demonstration, and I took the handle off so that I could bring it home. And they were stopped by and saying that they've had theirs for like 5 or 6 years, and it's like a lifetime warranty on this thing. But this right here costs $50 by itself. So that's what that is, the big one. The $45 in this box has, she said, 1 small handheld, and I think 2 travel sizes. So let's see what's in here. Yes, 2 travels, and then 1 handheld. So I can still use this on top of my quilts. So it's got some kind of cover on here. I don't want to mess with it because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I haven't read. I don't want to break it, but it's covered completely. But I can use this to get the threads off the quilts that I normally use my paper for. So that's in the box. So everything that she said was in here is in here. And then I've got the 2 travel size, or for your clothes. And it's got a cover on it so it don't get dirt before you start using it. So it's got a plastic thing on it. So I'm not going to take that off either. And then also they threw in a pet glove. So she's saying that this will pick up dirt, buttons, pins, pet hair, your hair. So she put quite a few things down, little pebbly rock things. It picked that up. And then they also included, I'm not going to open it because, it's making all this noise. But this is a glove that you can get the loose hairs off of your dog. So this right here, was their show special at $45. But for another $5, you got $50, you got all of it. So I just went ahead and spent the $50 and got all of it. And, I'll be using this pet one too, because I have a dog now, okay? So I got all of that. And then this bag, I want to talk about this. I got 3 things I want to talk about. And I got this here too. I'll show you that last. This is the actual show book. I had to get another one today because I left mine at home. So I went to Sawyer Creek, and she had 2 books because it's 2 of them. And so I got that. There is another sticker in here. This is about the Stitching Haven. I did get the code the first time. I don't even remember. They didn't tell me they gave me a code. Somebody gave me this cow sticker as I was walking down the aisle. It's Stitching Haven. Gave me, and I didn't get that the first time I talked to them because I don't have a cow thing in here. And Lordy Lord, do y'all see this? I was not buying any fabric, okay? Well, I was going to buy some African fabric, and that was what I was going to buy. I wasn't going to buy any fabric other than, well, fat quarters is fabric. You all know what I mean. I wasn't buying just general generic fabric, which in a way is what this is. But Kevin already know what this is. I'm walking down the aisle on the outside of one of these booths. They had a corner booth, and it was even around the corner of the booth. And lo and behold, this fabric just calls out to me. And then I look at it and I say, we're not buying any fabric that just generic that we don't need. Yeah. I'm laughing at Kevin. He don't type it in the chat. And I look up and I said, oh my God, they got Chungawang right here. And it was, you know, the colors just calling me in. And I had bought, and I'm going to show you, I bought some African stuff. And I said, it might can work with that. If it don't, that's fine too. I actually got this today. I bought 4 yards of it. They had it for $9.95. Everybody else selling fabric for $12.99, $13.99, $14.99, $17.99. Y'all know I went in there and bought the fabric. It took everything I had not to get the whole boat and just put it on the back of a quilt if I had to. But I had some control. I only got 4 yards. And it is a Chungawang by Timeless Treasure. And it's called Prism. And the number is CD 2845. But yeah. So yeah, I did. This was the purchase that I was not supposed to make. But I made it anyway. All right. The other thing that I got, I did not follow her on Facebook, Motherland Fabric. And I had asked her the day before, so I got this yesterday. So I had asked her Thursday if she had this particular panel. And she said that more was coming the next day. So Friday came. I had a class Friday, so that was my 9 to 12 class. That was really 9 to 10:30. And she said she didn't have them and that some more was going to come in. I'm like, she's not going to be able to get that in here. And how did she know she's going to need more of that? You know, I'm like, is she overnighted or what? I don't know. I'm thinking I'm not going to get it. But this was the prettiest panel I have ever seen. Well, not that I've ever seen, but I think it's close. It's just the hut houses. And it looks so 3D the way that it's printed onto here. It was just so beautiful. And I just love the colors and everything that's in it. But I know you can't see it all. But I just fell in love with this panel. And I just had to have it. So it is gorgeous. I think it's 45 inches wide. So it was probably, I don't know if the receipts, some receipts were emailed or text to me. And I haven't gone through that type of stuff. I haven't even been looking at the comments. So I hope y'all okay in here. It was that ruler guy. Yeah, that's what Sheila, I did say that. Claudette says, my husband bought one from the Sewing and Quilting Show in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Kevin, Mary, talking about T, you have a dog. I have Paige. I'm surprised you didn't buy the boat, Miss Tim. Kevin, you're right. And it took everything I had. And then one lady in line before me was like, oh, that's pretty. And I said, you can get some if you want, but she didn't get any. But yeah, so back to Motherland. So I bought this panel. She had it in a kit. It had a border print that was 2 yards. Now y'all know I got plenty of African fabric, so I didn't buy that. And then the other piece you had to buy was black, and it was like a $70 kit. I can take care of that without it because I got enough for that. But I saw 2 other pieces. I like original type things. And so then I saw this piece, and you're not going to get the whole gist of it. I just like the weird coloring. And that also it's kind of like you would think you would be cutting along you kind of see like the grid, like a border thing, but I would probably be cutting across it. But I think this is really, really pretty. She had 1 yard cuts already pre-cut. And these are not Ancaras. These are just, these are cotton, 100%. These are cotton fabrics, just 100%, just regular. They're not Ankara, so they're not reversible. And then this one I thought was pretty. Again, I would be cutting across it to get all the details in it. But I just really like these. She had a lot more that I liked. I just was like, girl, we're going to stop right here. And that's what we did. And I got to talking to her because that's what I do when I'm really happy to see something. And she was saying that she had pieced a quilt with the hut, and she had sent it to somebody to long arm. And that it, you know, she was unfortunate it didn't get done in time. So we was talking about that, and I told her I had long arm things like that. So we were just talking. Hi, Sandiago. Thank you. She says she got her book today. You're welcome. Oh, and then Claudia says that panel is beautiful. I got a net, went in the bag. He gone now. Go in the bag. A lot of people love this panel. She has some beautiful panels and fabrics. She comes to Virginia, and if I'm not mistaken, she's out of the state of Michigan. I want to say maybe Detroit. I'm not sure, but I want to say that's where she's from, or if I'm maybe missing up her with one of my Teaquilters, but she's up north. And I might can look on this card. Hold on for a minute. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. See, they paneled, got everybody awake, boy. Hey, Kim R. Hi, Diane McCoy. Sharon Lewis. Remo says she's got to go be safe. She says the panel I used in my 2025 retreat project came from Motherland. Okay, so and that was a beautiful panel too. And Cynthia says, yes, I was there when you picked those. And she said Michigan. Yes, I thought she said Michigan. But anyway, she asked me about me, and then I gave her my business card, and she looked at my name and she thought that she knew me and said, are you in my group? And I said, I don't think so, because I don't know about your group. And the thing is, one of the things is I sell African fabric, so I try to stay off of other people's sites, and I don't join groups that are selling stuff because I'm trying not to get into them. And if I do, I don't go in and really read and look at stuff, because I don't want anybody trying to say that I'm over there trying to advertise, because that ain't what I'm trying to do. I think the reason why she's seen my name is that maybe somebody was over there, posted a question looking for some help, and maybe somebody has put me in the comment section over there or something. That's the only thing that I can think of how she would know me, because I had never been to that group, and I did join it while I was standing there so that, you know, I didn't want to be rude. I did join her group. But I don't tend to go in and out of those groups. There's some other like Africa Tribe. I'm probably a member, but I have not done anything with that group in a long time, because I'm just helping out with the number, but I don't want to be accused of trying to take somebody's thunder. So I just, you know, stay clear of all of that. And so, what is this? Oh, have to have it. Oh, I'm going to come back to that. That's one of my favorites. Not the store, what I bought from them, because they sell a lot of different stuff. The last thing that I got from her, you all been seeing this flying all around the Facebook marketplace. And I said, I'm going to take my own profile and I'm going to do that. Well, I don't have to do that. This looks like it's going to be tiny, like maybe 20 by 20 at max. This thing is huge. And so she has this kit. I went ahead and bought the kit. And the reason is I think the pattern is what's costing money because it had to be draft printed. It's 3 big pieces of paper in here, like flip chart type stand, and it's really thick type fabric too. It's not thin. And then you've got the fabric to do it. It's actually a striped fabric, but you cut your pieces out. You do have to cut. And then she's got the pattern template set up where you've got all the individual pieces with the borders, with your seam allowance included. So when you cut it out and sew it back together, you've got your seam allowance. So I went ahead and purchased this one. This one was $60, more than I wanted to spend. But when she opened up the pattern and showed me how the pattern was printed, you know, stuff costs money. Nothing is cheap right now. So I went ahead and did that. Thank you, everybody. Darcy's reminding you all, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, do it right now. Do it, do it, do it. This bag here, I went into Sawyer Creek. Ain't this something here it is. I'm like, my seam ripper is not laying up here. Let me close it. I must have been ripping something. But I went over there, and so you can see this in my hand right here. It's the seam ripper and the stiletto combo, $35. They're making them 1.5 inches longer. And you know, if you have a big hand and you like these, you feel like you're holding on to the other one and you need more space, or if you want to put crystals on here, you've got more room to put crystals to keep it from rolling, because you're not going to be using it all, you know, you got more space to put crystals where you're not going to be using it, like if I was putting them here. Either it's the same width. They do make them in chunky as well for people that have arthritis now. So they're really expanding their product. I didn't buy anything other than this one just to show you all that they are making them longer for people that have really long fingers, and they're making them chunky for people that have arthritic hands. Now, because I don't have arthritic hands right now, I didn't personally like the chunky, and I didn't buy one. But I think this is really cool for people that like it. And I'll try it out a little bit. I don't know. And then I'll determine if I like it or not. But I will try it out a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted you all to know. And guess what? $35. Same price as this. They didn't even go up on price. I was shocked. So I don't know how long that's going to last. But this is what they have. So that's from Sawyer Creek. You all know that I normally sell these in sets. You get your stiletto with your seam ripper combo, and then you also get a wood press. I have those on my website. That's what I normally sell, but I was shocked to see this because I haven't seen them, because I missed Paducah this year because I overslept. So I haven't seen them in a minute, okay, since Paducah the previous year. So I didn't know they had that. And then this is, again, let me put up the regular size to the new size so you can see them both just up in the air. So it's about 1.5 inches of wood more, at least, on the new one. So yeah. Carissa says hers roll away all the time. Yeah, you put just when you hold it in your hand both ways, try to look and see if you could use some chalk or something, or disappearing white pen or something. Put a little dot and then turn it and use it the other way and see how you use it, how you hold it. And then if I need to, I'll put a crystal. Another thing that you can do, if you have real leather, like the stiff leather, you can just cut like 1 inch square of leather and then use a hole punch and put a hole in it. And you can take this off and then put it on here. And then when you put it back on to close, you'll have a rectangle of the leather. Like I said, cut 1 inch, and it'll keep it from rolling. That's another thing. But you can use a crystal or you can use that. So that was new that I bought. Be trying that out. Kevin the Quilter likey the chunky. See, and I put it in my hand and it's like, it just didn't, I guess I'm used to this one, so it didn't feel comfortable for me or natural. And I don't have arthritic hands, and so I did not get it. And then the other thing that I got from them, now this is vulgar. So if you don't like vulgar, then turn away from your TV right now. They had the tote bag that matches the shirt that they make that's also vulgar. So I'm going to show it now. But this is what this is. So I'm going to put it up. It's just a tote bag. So that people can come back to their screen, because I don't want to offend anybody. But they had that. That was $15 for the bag. And then I went over and talked to the Juki people, because remember I was telling you all, I feel like I'm changing this bobbin all the time. And so I went over to the Juki people just to see what they, if the bobbin was winding. She said it could be increased a little bit, but she says, really, we like it that way, because if you put it in full, it's going to get caught and start pulling off on the inside of the machine. It's just how the machine is made. So I don't want to mess with it, so I'm not going to mess with that. And so what she told me to do was go over to Superior Threads and buy the L-style bobbins. I'm telling y'all, because I know a lot of y'all use the Juki. So you want the L-style bobbin that has cardboard sides. And you can, and what it is, I found out later, because it doesn't, I don't think it says it on here. Because I went over to the lady and I said, what kind of thread is this? And it is actually bottom line thread. I use bottom line all the time in my long arm. I use Permacore on top, and I use Superior Omni on top, and then I also use bottom line in my bobbin so that I can get more thread on my bobbin, which means I have to change it less. So I'm going to try these, and then I can try these for you all before you go and buy them. But today only, which I was surprised, because normally Sunday is when they do specials. They had, these are regular $70 a box, and they had them half off, so they were $35 a box. And it has 72 bobbins in here, and you have twice as much bottom line as you can get cotton onto the spool. And so now I don't even have to wind. So I got the color silver, I think 623 is silver, which is like dove gray, the very light gray. And then I also got off-white. So I went ahead and just spent the $70 and got two, praying and hoping that it works. If not, I'll be donating them to somebody that uses this. It's 10 o'clock, y'all. All right, I'm almost done. I bought 3 things that are my favorite. Although I love the African fabric and I love Chungawang, but I bought 3 things that are my favorite. I have 2 of them here, and then I just saw the water bottle. This is not one. We needed water bottles because, let's talk about the hotel. You know, nothing online telling you that they're under construction. We get in and they tell us that 2 elevators are not working because that's part of the construction. They got outside boards up along part of the building, not all of it, but part of the building is covered up due to construction. And yeah, the hotel was nice though. The hotel was nice, don't get me wrong. But they didn't say anything about no construction online. And then when we get into the lobby, they have free water for you. Do you know that they don't have no coffee? We weren't expecting breakfast, but it was a choice hotel. There was no coffee pots to give you complimentary coffee. They had a restaurant that served pretty decent food. It was actually good. It was edible food. But if you ordered coffee, you pay $5 for coffee. Do you know that there was no free refill on coffee or any of the drinks? It was crazy. Like, what? The weirdest thing that I'd ever heard and seen. But we got water bottles because we decided they wanted $5 for a bottle of water, and we decided we weren't going to do that. And so we just, got the water out the water fountain that they had up there when we could. And then when we was in the restaurant the last night, the guy went and just filled it up for us. So that was nice too. I've seen a t-shirt like that. So funny. Yep. And it's been on the screen, but that's why I want to let people know ahead of time. When they were in Atlanta, I bought their crochet hooks. The wood handle feels good in my hand. Yeah, I've also sold those too. I've offered those. I don't have them on my website because you buy one set and you're kind of done. It's like everybody that quilts is not a crocheter, but I have a set of it too. So if I ever go back to crocheting, I will have a set of it as well, because they had different types of crochet hooks depending on how you hold your hook. And so I bought what was fine for my hand. Carol says, may I put a positive note on the word being in total control of her or himself? So thank you, Carol. I no longer look at that word as being a bad word, the Red Hat Society, right? And I think that's where it was coming from, because they're a cute little old couple. When you go in there and see them selling it, you never expect for them two to be selling that product. So it's hilarious. But that's a great thing, Carol. Joe Cormel says, I love Superior L-style cotton pre-wound bobbins on my Juki, and I love them. These were the ones, because I asked her if this is what they were referring to, and she says yes. So Joe Cormel says that she gets the cotton and it works. And I'm trying to get it so that I get more thread on, because I'm tired of winding these bobbins if I'm sewing on this machine. So that's the thing. All right. One of the things that we did was Rose told us that there was a history museum of African American quilters in Houston, and it just so happened that while we were there, they are all over the USA, and they have Zoom meetings, and they just happened to have their exhibit in the museum at the time. And I don't think it's of quilters. It's some other name, because it's just the museum. It's of African American things, but I don't think it's quilters. I have to find it, y'all. I'll see if it's on this item that I'm telling you is going to be one of my favorites. So we went to their opening reception night. We got there. They actually had food laid out. They had all kinds of stuff laid out, and everything that guy had cooked was good. And he says he doesn't even do events like that. I forget where he said he's cooking, but he don't even do events like that. Well, he should, because his food was really, really good. Everything that I had was really good. He done a fantastic job. So I wanted to support those quilters, because when we came in, we were trying to figure out, because they were everywhere, and we were, and it's their thing, and we're strangers. We're just coming to support them. But we wanted to, we trying to figure out, where do we pay? How do we see the quilts? We came from the quilt show, found out you all were having this, and we just wanted to support. What do we do? She just sent us upstairs. She said, go upstairs to the quilts. Well, we go upstairs to the quilt, but Sheila, little Miss Nosy, honey, she done found out that they got the book. They got all the people that are in the book. They're kind of doing the book signings. So I ended up, we all bought the book to support. It was at least 4 of us. Us 4 bought the book. Paula, Sheila, myself, and Bonita. And then we went around to the quilters that were the ones that we could find, because I'm sure all of the pages aren't signed. Art to Art, I'm sorry. And they're all the quilts that were in the exhibit upstairs. And so all of them were there. They had like ribbons on, so you would know who was who. And then, like, I'm opening a page now and I don't have it signed. Like, I don't have Laura's Cashmere's signed. And I don't know if, you don't want to bug people. Some people were signing upstairs. Some people were signing downstairs. And I had already gone upstairs once, and I wasn't going up there again. But so I got some of the signatures. I didn't get everybody's signature, but I was able to support them by doing this. So it's the Houston Museum of African American Culture. That's the name of the museum. So if you ever go to Houston, you might want to go there. That's where it's at. And they, it was, do they have their organization on here? The National African American Quilt Guild is the group. The National African American Quilt Guild. So that's the group. And you can join if anybody wants to join. It's an online group. They do Zoom meetings, but then they might meet once or twice a year. Like they'll do a retreat, and then they might have something where they do a challenge. And like this was all a challenge in this book. So yeah. So I bought that from the National African Americans Quilt Guild to support them for their $20. So then I went into the museum. I went back in the museum because they was in the museum selling it, but they were off. The museum wasn't selling the books. The quilt guild was. So I went back in, found something to buy so that I could support the museum. Because again, we got in free. So I don't even know if I want to take this off. This is what I bought, and this is one of my favorite things that I bought. I bought a skirt, and I bought a skirt. It has pockets because it's exactly the skirt that I want. It has pockets that I want to make, and I haven't made it. I've been telling them to make me a skirt for years, and it's like, if you're not going to make it, then go ahead and buy it. So I bought what I wanted to make. I would not have had ties on it, so it has tie on it as well. And then it also has the head wrap. Oh, I can open this part because it's it opens at the bottom. So the skirt is really pretty. They had two different styles that I saw, but I picked this one, and it has the scarf thing that you tie. You make your headpiece. So that's what I have, and this is going to be my opening night outfit for the documentary. So I just need to figure out my shirt, and then I'll be ready to go. Isn't that cute? And I didn't fold it up to really put it back in here, but we're going to stuff it in here anyway. So I can't wait to, and she talked about, when you go, make sure you send a picture. I said, okay, I'm going to try to remember to take a picture with the documentary producer. And so, because she didn't know who Paulette was. And so I said, I'm going to try to take a picture with her, and then I'm going to send a picture, because I know Paulette going to have on something anyway. And so, yeah, I'm going to do that. But I like skirts that have pockets. I've been saying I'm going to make it. Now I'll be motivated to make it because now I actually have a prototype right in my face. I've always made elastic waist skirts, but I know the concept of a pocket, but I'm real picky because I like a particular type of pocket, and I know I've got to sit down and draft it. But if this pocket works for me, then I'm just going to use the pocket that's in here. Make a little pattern of it. But yeah, so now I got my skirt. And I had another skirt that I wore to the documentary here local, but I bought it off of Temu, and it's like knit, but I wanted the Ankara skirt. I know it's gonna be very bulky because it's Ankara. I might try to wash it. I hope I don't mess it up. I'm gonna try to wash this, and hopefully it won't shrink up too much. I'm going to wash it so it can be soft and not stiff as it is now. But yeah, that was one of my 3 things that I really, really love. My number 2 thing I'm going to show you came from Have to Have It. Have to Have It .com. And the third thing, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now, you're not going to see it because it's going to be coming to me in the mail because they sold out. And I'll talk about that when it comes. It's a sewing machine light. I'll tell you what it is. It's a sewing machine light, but it's a different type of light. All right. I gotta find it. Oh, I put it up high. Okay. So I bought this. And if you think it's a bag, a tote bag, you're absolutely correct. I will tell you right now, before I even take this out the bag, this thing costs $60, I think. $60. $60. And I passed it up the first time. Then I went looking up the bag online and trying to find it like on Amazon and stuff like that. Found it was priced even more on Amazon. So I'm going to show you this bag. I'm showing you that side. And he did not have red out there. He comes over there because I was looking and rolling them around, testing them out. And I'm like, this is really pretty. It's really cute. I said, do you have any prints? And he said he didn't have any because I've seen these in prints. Somebody else here has them. And he said he didn't have it in print. And I go, okay. He said, well, what color do you like? I got all this color. He rolling off colors. I said red. And red was not up there. And he goes, I got a red in the back. Let's see if you like the red. And I'm like, he got red? And they all came, they were in boxes because all he had out front was just the demo models for you to look at. And then he pulled out the back, they were in boxes. So I had him take it out the box because I can't do anything with a box because I got to bring it home, right? And so I got this bag. So this bag is huge. But what this bag does is it opens up. And do you see this? Not does it have 4 wheels, it has 5 wheels. It has a center balancing wheel as well, and they all spin in a circle. So you paying for the wheels alone on this bag. And this bag is huge. It has a top that zips, and it's not zipped because if it's zipped, it's not gonna lay down. But it has a top that you can zip. You see the zipper there? So you put all of your stuff in here. The girl that was featured quilter came in with her stuff in here, had a whole lot of quilts into this bag. And it has 2 handles across. This is what you use to pick it up, to put it in and out of your car. You must use both of these so that you don't rip it apart. Her husband accidentally picked it up by this handle and one of the sides, and this handle here ripped. So you never pick up by this handle here. Make sure you pick up by both sides handles if you purchase this or if you're thinking about getting it. And if you get it, you make sure that you tell him that Teaquilts sent you so he know, because I was over there talking to him. He talking about I was trying to get it tax-free since I was spending $60, because I'm like, I don't want to spend another $5 in tax because tax is high when you go to these convention centers. And he go, well, it's not really a wholesale use. I go, well, I'm going to sell it for you though. So it's called Simply Southern, and it was bought from havetohaveit.com. That's where you want to get it because everywhere else is going to probably be a little bit more. And again, he had all different kinds of colors like gold, bronze, black, light pink, hot pink. He had plenty of them. So this was my second favorite purchase. And well, I'm not going to say favorite, just my top 3 favorite purchases was this, my skirt, because it's going to be used immediately. And then also the light. And the light, I'm going to talk about it more, but it has a base that you can buy multiple bases because it doesn't stay in the base. So if you put the light up here, you can take the light off when you need to take your machine in to get service, or if you're going to take it for travel because you don't want your light to be sitting up there. And you can take it off. And so what I did was bought one light, and I bought multiple bases so that I could put it on different machines because I need it on machines like the Juki, the Featherweight, where you don't have a whole lot of extra light. But, and I like the way that the light moved when I moved it, because y'all know I went over there. I don't say nothing. They gonna have to run me out of their booth. I don't say nothing to them. I just go over there and start. If you got it up here for people to say, oh, buy me, well, I go over there and I do the full test. I don't bent that thing all kinds of ways. And you know those bendable metal poles, I'll put those in a spot and then look up and the thing drooping down. So I was trying to make sure that wherever I moved it, that it would stay. And it looked like it was doing a good job. So I'm going to test that out. And I told her I'm going to get an affiliate link for that. And I told her that if I like it, that I would, make sure that I, refer you all to it. But I have to wait for that to come. And she says she's going to try to get mine ahead of everybody's and get mine out next week. So we'll see. Because she's got to go. She's still in Houston. And she's going to be tired when she get back home. So I'm not going to hold her to getting it in the mail next week, because she's got to make it. She's making these lights herself. She's a designer and she's she's the production. So it's her. So she's saying that she would get it. So we shall see. But yeah, so what y'all think about that big bag? Let me see. I didn't like the price tag, but I have seen the bag. It comes up. It's above your knees height. So in your thigh area, I don't know how tall it is because it doesn't have that information on here. But I'm going to be using it because I got a exhibit. I'm going to be, there's a book signing at the History Museum one of the Thursday nights, and I'm going to go and just put up some quilts. I could have sold stuff, but I don't want to do that because it was going to be, when you're selling stuff at museums and stuff like that, it gets to be a little bit weird. And so I just decided not to do that because it's only going to be an hour and a half anyway. And so I just decided that I'm just going to display. So I'm going to take a quilt stand and take a table cover, and I'm just going to put some things. I'm going to take my Scrap Queen thing like that. But that's what I'm going to do. Claudette says the bag is huge. That bag is huge, and it's pretty. And some people bought their bags and then proceeded to roll them along the floor of the show as they were using them. So they didn't need their boxes either because they was using it to keep the weight off of them as they were going. And Sharon says she likes having wheels on the bag. So yes. So I'm going to test it out. If my handles pull off because I know how I'm supposed to pick it up and use it. And if it doesn't work, then I will definitely let you all know. So I'm not saying rush out and buy it. I have an event the first week of November, I think, or the second week of November that I'm going to be using it. I could use it when I go to Scrap Club or something like that instead of using my wagon, because I always use my wagon. So I'll try to use it a little bit and then give you all a heads up. So don't go buying it and then spend $60 and it don't work. So I want to make sure it's going to work. Sheila says she saw the bag at Costco or something similar to it at Costco. So that's good. I don't have a Costco membership, so I don't know nothing about that. I like the bag. It would be great for holding the stuff people need to bring to retreat. And that's what the woman said, that people have put their sewing machine at the bottom, and then they put all the class stuff around it, fabric, all the stuff like that, and then they roll it on into class. So that's what they do. Everything fits in the bag. Diane talking about, I need that bag for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So that's it for right now. Like I said, I'm missing the light. That's the only thing that I don't have. I was trying to be more selective and not just buying fabric. This time I did end up getting the African fabric. That was but it was different and stuff that I had never seen before. Plus when I was in Chicago, I had bought a few of the panels that she had, but I didn't know I don't know where they get them from, but they had some in the quilt shop in Chicago. And so I had already purchased some of the things that she had up there, but I definitely love that hut. And so I wanted to do that. But yeah, so I'm about to figure out something to eat. Cause a girl hasn't eaten since lunch. Bonita, I went right back to the got another taco salad today before I got on that before I went to the airport because it was just safe. All the other stuff, you kind of, the taco salad was at least seasoned, had good seasoning to it. So I just decided to stay with that because I hate buying food that don't have season and it doesn't taste good. So I'm just trying to get stuff off the floor so I can get out of here because I'm not even finna put this up right now. Hopefully I'll come back in here before Wednesday and put some of this up. But a girl is tired. It's been a long week. I have been walking over 11,000 steps every day. And I'm tired. So I'm going to go figure out what I can eat because I haven't even been here, so I have nothing thawed. Maybe it'd be a grilled cheese sandwich or something. I have no idea. But I'm going to eat. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to relax because I'm tired. I'm going to try to catch up on some of the YouTube stuff that I like. I look at weird stuff on YouTube. I don't really watch a whole lot of the quilting stuff because I like food production, like with the animals and how they process, how they feed. So I watch some farm shows and things like that too. So I watch some weird things. I like people that make campers or remodeling. I like that type of stuff too. So, but that's going to be it, guys. Cynthia says, great haul. It was great to see you again. Get some rest. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate that. And Bonita said, it was good. See, we both like, and every time I've got that, I bought that taco salad 3 times. Bonita got it twice because she wasn't there today. She left earlier this morning. And I wasn't even supposed to be at the show today. But every time I got that salad, it held its own. It did what it needed to do. So I was really happy about that. That it wasn't like you got it and it was good today and it wasn't good the next day. It was the same every time. So whoever's cooking it is doing the same cooking. And that's really good. So that's going to be it, guys. I am really tired. We still went over 20 minutes long. But y'all know I like to be thorough. I have to get I used just my phone. I did not even take my camera because I didn't want to be carrying all that weight with me, knowing that I was going to be shopping. So I didn't even carry all my camera stuff. So it's on my phone. I have to work my way to get all of that off and then upload it, edit it, and upload it into YouTube. So give me a little bit because I'm going to be relaxing today and tomorrow. I'm taking Sunday off. It's weird because I get requests and things like that every day of the week. And it's like, do you realize that if you were working, would you want requests every day of the week? And people don't look at it from that perspective. They look at me as a business that's open 7 days a week. And even quilt shops close 2 to 3 days. Some of them close 3 days a week. So I have learned that I'm only going to do on Sundays what I want to do on Sunday. I did mail out the books. I sent you an email. Hopefully it went through. I got 5 people who did not forward me their addresses. And I sent out all 50 books except that I mailed 45 because I didn't have addresses for 5. And then I'm waiting on the last 15 books. So I've sent them out in the order that you registered to get a book. So if you know that you registered last, just know that you don't have a book. If you haven't paid, you don't have a book. Because I sent them to people that had paid because I'm autographing these books personally to you. They're not just T of Teaquilts written in there. I actually have names. So, I can't sell it to somebody else once I give it to you. So if you didn't pay for your book, your book's not on its way. And you may be losing your book because if somebody else, I have other people on the wait line trying to get books. So if you haven't paid for your book, you won't be getting it because it's not paid. And so if you got any questions about it, you can always email me. But every book has been mailed and I'm able to mail. If you know you haven't sent me your mailing address, I asked everybody to send me your mailing address because I had to delete all of my emails back in July. And I don't have your addresses. So if you know you think you haven't emailed me, you haven't gotten your book, because everybody should have had their books now because I mailed them all Monday and Tuesday. If you don't have your book by Monday for sure in the whole week, your book isn't mailed because I don't have your address. And I sent emails. I'll try to send emails again. Y'all know my emails work sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. I had to pause, y'all. Sometimes my email work and sometimes it doesn't. I just want to repeat that part just in case it paused right there. So I am looking forward to you getting your book. In all honesty, Benita and somebody else told me they've read the book from beginning to end and said that it is a wonderful book and the stories are fantastic. And I haven't read one page because I've been autographing in my free time. So, yeah, I do at some point want to read. I've listened to every woman's story in our documentary. I've seen the full documentary. And I already know that they're fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it. And the link came out today for people to register for the documentary. So it's going to be really cool. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to say good night to you. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everyone. Quilt out. See you Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.